Hi, Kyle. Previously, we've talked about the problem defined as PACS is slow and how it impacts radiologists. Can you talk a little bit about some of the deficiencies in the vendor's warning system that would let PACS administrators know that the system is experiencing problems?
Well, I think there's two different types of monitoring systems out on the market today that currently address this problem. The first is what I would call an infrastructure monitoring. So infrastructure monitoring is kind of like the check engine light in your car. It'll tell you, is the engine running? Yes or no. If there's a problem, meh. So, the infrastructure tools will really typically monitor the CPU utilization, memory utilization, space on the C drive, and if particular services are running. And that's important. And if any of those things aren't working, then the car's not moving. So that there's a lot of value there. On the flip side, you have vendor application monitoring. And so typically your vendor application monitoring is again checking at a more detailed level, a lot of logging, maybe specific services, and in some cases they'll do some internal database queries looking at queues or processes to see if anything is backed up. But both of those things are very singular and focused, and nothing actually looks at the system holistically from the perspective of the user to understand how long does it take from A to B, or what happens when two different vendors and two different systems interact. So those focused monitoring solutions are great and valuable, but they don't really give you that overall view or that enterprise view, or more importantly, the user perspective on how the application is running. And that's why I think there needs to be tools and processes in place that check things from the outside. And that's always the best verification, is when you're able to monitor and test from the outside, from the user perspective.
Yeah, thank you for that. And it sounds like, benchmarking those over time will allow you to kind of establish what normal operation really means, right? I mean, I think if you're able to say that 90% of the time PAX performs at a certain speed and anything that deviates from that is abnormal, then, or 100% of the time it should operate at this level, then you're able to better identify what that slowdown is.
Well, if you ask a user, that threshold is 100% of the time it should be less than 1 second, right? But
Yeah.
to your point, of course, we want to benchmark, understand what normal is, and then set thresholds. So as soon as things start going off the rails, as soon as we get away from normal, we notify IT, and IT can proactively jump in and try to fix things before it goes from bad to worse, or as I like to say, it goes off the cliff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that would help every single PAX administrator out there.
Well, that's
Thank you, Kyle.
that's the goal.
Thank you. Yeah.